Picture this. You're standing at the gate, boarding pass in hand, ready to go. Then the agent makes an announcement. We're looking for volunteers to gate check their bags. You ignore it. Smart move, right? Wrong. Because while you're holding onto your carry-on, the airline just quietly flagged your seat assignment, your boarding group, even your ticket type. And by the time you reach the door, there's no bin space left. Your bag gets checked anyway. But here's what you didn't see. That announcement, it wasn't random. It was designed, calculated, and it worked perfectly on you. Welcome to the hidden world of airport psychology. Airlines don't just fly planes, they play games. And in fall 2025, those games are getting smarter, sneakier, and more expensive for passengers who don't know the rules. But you're not most passengers. Today, I'm exposing 8 airport secrets airlines use to trick you. Not rumours, not outdated tips, the actual fall 2025 playbook. Some of these will shock you. A few might make you angry. But all of them will save you time, money, and frustration starting on your very next flight. Let's get into it. Let's start with the trick that plays out at every single gate, every single day. The voluntary gate check announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this flight is completely full. We're looking for volunteers to check their carry-on bags at no charge. Sounds helpful, right? They're being nice, doing you a favour. No, they're not. Here's what the airline isn't telling you. When you volunteer to gate check, your bag doesn't go to the baggage claim. It goes to the cargo hold of that same plane. You'll pick it up on the jet bridge after landing. Sounds fine, until it's not. Because here's the secret. That free gate-checked bag, it's not covered by the same rules as regular checked luggage. If it gets lost, the airline owes you almost nothing. We're talking $50 maximum for domestic flights. Your $50 maximum for domestic flights, dot. Your $300 jacket, gone. Your work laptop, good luck. And in fall 2025, lost gate-checked bags are up 40% compared to last year. Airlines are rushing connections, cutting ground crew, and bags are getting left behind. But here's the real trick. Airlines know exactly how much bin space is available before they make that announcement. They know. And they're using you to solve their problem for free. The smarter play? Don't volunteer. Wait until boarding. 9 times out of 10, the airline will be forced to check bags at the door for free anyway. And those bags? They get better tracking and higher compensation if something goes wrong. The volunteer isn't a hero. The volunteer is a pawn. Don't be the pawn. Next secret. And this one's happening before you even reach the gate. Boarding groups. You think they're based on when you check in, your loyalty status, random luck? Think again. Airlines in fall 2025 are using dynamic boarding algorithms. That's a fancy way of saying the computer decides your group based on how much they think you'll spend. Here's how it works. When you scan your boarding pass, the airline system instantly checks your profile. Did you buy the basic economy ticket? Group 9. Did you pay for seat selection? Group 6. Did you buy a meal or Wi-Fi on your last flight? That moves you up. They're not rewarding loyalty, they're rewarding profitability. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. The boarding group displayed on your pass, it's not fixed. It can change up to 15 minutes before boarding starts. How? By buying anything. A soda, a snack, a last-minute seat upgrade. Even a $5 bag of peanuts can bump you up 2 groups. Flight attendants call this the penny upgrade, and frequent flyers use it every single trip. Here's your move. At the gate, pull up the airline's app. Look for boarding upgrades or last-minute offers. Sometimes it's free to change groups. Sometimes it costs a few dollars. Either way, $5 to guarantee overhead bin space, that's the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Because in fall 2025, the difference between Group 4 and Group 7 isn't patience, it's paying for your bag to stay with you. This one gets ugly. Oversold flights. You've heard the stories, passengers getting bumped, cash offers, vouchers, drama at the gate. But here's what airlines aren't telling you. Most oversold flights, they're not actually oversold. Here's the trick. Airlines intentionally release more seats than available because historically 5 to 10% of passengers don't show up. That's called overbooking, and it's legal. But in fall 2025, airlines are taking it further. They're announcing oversold situations even when they're not. Why? Because it's profitable. When an airline asks for volunteers to give up seats, they start the offer low. 100 VOUCHER THEN 100 voucher. Then 200. Then $300. Most people ignore it. But here's the secret. The airline knows exactly how much they're willing to pay, and it's often way higher than what they first offer. In fact, internal documents show that major US airlines can authorize gate agents to offer up to $1,500 for voluntary bumps. But they never start there. They wait, they watch, and the first person who accepts, they save the airline hundreds of dollars. So what's the smart move? If you hear an oversold announcement, don't jump. Wait. Let the offers climb. And when they get close to $800 or more, that's your moment. But here's the secret inside the secret. You can negotiate. Ask for cash, not vouchers. Ask for a confirmed seat on the next flight, not standby. Ask for meal vouchers and lounge access. The agent has power. They're just waiting to see who knows to ask. Now you know. Let's talk about money. Specifically, the money you're overpaying for every single ticket. You think checking flight prices once a day is enough. Maybe you've got Google Flights Alert set up. Cute. But that's not how fall 2025 works anymore. Here's the secret airlines pray you never learn. Flight prices don't change randomly. They change on a predictable, repeatable schedule. Data from millions of flights shows that the cheapest time to book a domestic flight is Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Not Monday, not midnight Sunday, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Why? Because airlines release their fare adjustments after the weekend rush. Competitors match prices by Tuesday afternoon, and by 3 p.m. the dust settles on the lowest prices of the week. But here's the trick they really don't want you to know. Incognito mode doesn't work. Stop using it. It's been debunked for years. Airlines don't track your cookies that way anymore. What actually works? Booking from a different device. A work computer, a friend's phone, a library terminal. Airline algorithms track your search history across sessions, but they can't track you across devices. Here's your fall 2025 strategy. Search on your phone, book on your laptop, and always clear your browser between searches. That $50 difference? It's not a sale. It's the airline charging you for being predictable. Don't be predictable. This secret is dangerous. Literally. Connection times. You book a flight with a 45-minute layover. Seems fine. Plenty of time to grab coffee and walk to the next gate. Except it's not. Here's what the airline isn't telling you. That connection time is calculated from the moment the first plane's wheels touch the ground to the moment the second plane's doors close. Not when you get off the plane, not when you reach the gate. Wheels down to doors closed. If your first flight lands at 2 p.m. and your second departs at 2:45 p.m, that's a 45-minute connection. But here's the reality. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to taxi to the gate, another 5 to 10 minutes for passengers to deplane. If you're sitting in the back Add 5 more minutes. Suddenly, your 45-minute connection is 25 minutes. And if your gates are in different terminals, you're running or missing your flight. But here's the secret. Airlines know this. They're required to publish minimum connection times for every airport, and those times are often shorter than what's actually possible. Why? Because shorter connection times make their schedules look faster, and faster schedules sell more tickets. So what's the real number? For domestic flights, never book a connection under 60 minutes. For international, never under 90 minutes. And if you're connecting through Atlanta, Chicago O'Hare or Denver, add another 30 minutes to both. The airline won't protect you. The gate agent won't wait for you. The only person responsible for your connection time is you. This one's brand new for fall 2025, and it's catching thousands of passengers every single week. The check-in timer. You know how airlines always say, check in at least 2 hours before domestic flights, 3 hours before international? That used to be a suggestion. Now, for some airlines, it's a trick. Here's what's happening. Airlines are quietly introducing dynamic check-in cutoffs. That means the time you need to check in changes based on how full the flight is, how many bags are being checked, and even the weather. If the flight is 90% full, you need to check in 90 minutes early, not 2 hours. If it's a holiday weekend, make that 2.5 hours. But here's the secret. The airline won't tell you the real cutoff. Their app and website still show the standard times. So how do you know? 2 ways. First, check your airline's Twitter or social media. During disruptions, they post real-time updates there before anywhere else. Second, use the airline's app to check in exactly 24 hours before departure. That's when they assign boarding groups. Check in even 1 hour later, you could drop 3 groups. And here's the trick within the trick. Some ultra-low-cost carriers in fall 2025 are now charging a late check-in fee. Show up less than 60 minutes before departure, that's an extra $25. Even if you're checked in online, read the fine print every time. Because the airline is betting you won't. And that bet pays off millions for them every month. This secret will save you hundreds, maybe thousands. Refunds. You think if an airline cancels your flight, you automatically get your money back. That's the law, right? Not exactly. Here's the trick. Airlines have gotten incredibly good at offering you something else before you ask for a refund. A voucher, a credit, a rebooking on a different flight. And most passengers say yes because they just want to get where they're going. But here's the secret. In fall 2025, accepting any alternative offer means you legally waive your right to a cash refund. That voucher expires. The credit has blackout dates. The rebooked flight arrives 8 hours later with 2 connections, and the airline keeps your money. Here's what the law actually says. Under US Department of Transportation rules, if an airline cancels your flight for any reason within their control, you are entitled to a full cash refund to your original form of payment. Not a voucher, not credit, cash. But they don't have to tell you that, and they won't. So here's your script. When a flight cancels, walk to the gate or customer service desk and say these exact words. I am requesting a full cash refund to my original form of payment under DOT regulations. Please confirm in writing. That's it. Those words trigger a legal requirement. They cannot offer you a voucher first. They cannot steer you to credit. And in fall 2025, some airlines are training agents to avoid passengers who know this phrase. Because when you say it, they have to comply. Now you know the phrase, use it. Last secret, and this one might be the sneakiest of all, the seat map. You're booking a flight. You see the little diagram. Lots of open seats. You pick a nice one by the window. Perfect. Then you board the plane. And that seat map was a lie. Here's what happened. Airlines in fall 2025 are using dynamic seat maps. That means the map you see when booking is not the real map. It's a prediction, and it's often wrong. Why? Because airlines hold back seats. Lots of them. Elite members get released seats 72 hours before departure. Paid upgrades get released 48 hours before. Basic economy assignments happen at the gate. So that empty row you saw when booking, it was never empty. The airline just wasn't showing you the truth. But here's the secret they really don't want you to know. You can see the real seat map. 24 hours before departure, check in online. Then pull up the seat map again. That map is real. Those are the actual open seats. If you see a better seat, ask the gate agent to move you. Most will do it for free. Some will charge a small fee. Either way, you're not stuck in the middle seat you booked. And here's an advanced move. Download the Airlines app and enable notifications. When seats open up from upgrades or no-shows, the app will sometimes offer them to you at a discount. We're talking first-class seats for 50. Exit row 50, exit row for 10, because the airline would rather get something than leave the seat empty. The passengers who sleep on this, they stay in the back. The ones who check again, they move up. In fall 2025, the seat map is a game, and now you know how to win. Here's the truth. Airlines aren't in the business of flying planes. They're in the business of selling seats. And everything else? The announcements, the boarding groups, the seat maps, the refund policies? Those aren't hospitality. Those are strategies. But here's what the airlines forget. Strategies only work when the other person doesn't know the rules. Now, you know. The volunteer trap, the hidden boarding order, the oversold flight lie, the price drop window, the connection illusion, the check-in timer, the refund loophole, the seat map game. 8 secrets, 1 goal. Keeping your money in your pocket. Which of these 8 secrets shocked you the most? Drop the number in the comments. I read every single one. And if this fall 2025 update helped you, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell, because the tricks change every season, and I'll be here to expose every single one. Until next time, fly smart, watch your back, and never trust the first offer. The airline is counting on you to blink. Don't blink.